Hi Crypto Peeps, hope you're doing well and welcome to the new year. Today's date is 4th of January 2023 and it's already started to be an interesting year with cryptos and what's happening out there in the ecosphere. You might have known or seen in the news that the FTX founder and owner Sam Bankman-Fried is in court in the US, so we'll cover a bit of that, and there's implications from that. There's a big fallout for the whole of the industry still, so we're still seeing shockwaves and things happening from that. But let's go straight to some of the news I got for you this week, shall we? Crypto news bites here, and this first one here is on Finbold. Crypto winter wipes over 70,000 Bitcoin millionaires during the entire 2022 period. Goes on to say here, the rise of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in recent years has created a new class of wealthy individuals, many of whom have made their fortunes by buying into the market early and adopting hodling strategies. However, the past year has seen the market experience a sharp downturn and the value of Bitcoin falling significantly, resulting in a devastating impact on the wealth of many holders. As of January 2nd, 2023, the number of Bitcoin millionaire addresses stood at 28,007. Representing a drop of 71.73% on the year previously. At the start of last year, the number of millionaire addresses stood at 99,092. At the same time, addresses with at least 10 million worth of Bitcoin stood at 8,190 in January 2022, before plunging by 62.5% to only 3,799 in January 2023. Notably, most Bitcoin addresses hold between $100 and $999 worth of Bitcoin, at 13.47 million in January 2023. Here's some stats there and some charts showing you the drops and stuff. And it goes on to say here, as Bitcoin's price continues to fall, many investors have seen their holdings significantly devalue. Therefore, the drop in millionaire addresses highlights how far the crypto market has fallen from the 2021 bull run. More information there. I'm only reading a little bit of the news bites here for you today. Check out the links below for the full articles and the full videos for this as well. So interesting news there. Just going to show how big a drop we've had this last year. The next one again is on Finbold here. Big Short's Michael Burry shares an alarming market prediction for 2023. As a result of rising inflation in 2022, the US financial regulator was forced to approve a more stringent monetary policy, which suffocated every risk-on investing instrument and drove down prices in both stocks and cryptocurrencies. The US economy will enter a recession and see a new round of inflation in 2023, according to the Big Short investor Michael Burry. In a tweet shared on January 2nd by the man renowned for his bleak but frequently correct forecasts, Burry warns that the inflation rate has reached its highest point, but this will not be the peak of the last cycle. And there it is here, inflation peaked, but it's not the last peak of this cycle. We are likely to see the CPI lower, possibly negative in 2H 2023, and the US in recession by any definition. The Fed will cut and government will stimulate, and we will have another inflation spike. It's not hard. There's more details on this if that would interest you. He goes on to say here, according to Burry, inflation will fall and the economy will weaken in 2023, leading to the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates and the government increasing expenditure to stimulate growth, which would increase demand and lead to an increase in inflation. Burry's billion-dollar bet against the housing boom of the mid-2000s was made famous in the film The Big Short, and he invested in GameStop before its stock rose at the beginning of 2021, betting against Elon Musk's Tesla and Cathie Wood's flagship ARK Innovation Fund last year, which worked out well for him. More details there if you want that one to interest you. The guy knows what he's talking about, so take that under advisement. Another one on Finbold here. Lots on Finbold, don't know why, but it's going well at the moment. Top 10 cryptocurrencies by GitHub development activity as of January 2023. I like to look at this because, if people are using and if they're developing on the platforms then it shows that it's got growth and it's going somewhere. So even though the crypto industry is still picking up the pieces from the devastation caused by the FTX crash, blockchain development teams across the main networks are building and expanding through their ecosystems as 2023 gets started. As of January 3rd, 2023, metaverse game Decentraland leads the GitHub development activity with a total number of 701, followed by Polkadot and then Kusama with 339. Here's a chart here. I don't think I can expand this. No, I can't get this any bigger, so we'll try to get it bigger on the screen there for you. And zoom in on this. So Decentraland's clearly in the lead at the moment. Then Polkadot, then Status, Ethereum, Lisk, Ocean Protocol, Cardano, Solana, Cosmos, and Osmosis. So there's some interesting news there. That's the ones that are being developed the most at the moment. So keep an eye on that. Because if people are building on systems, then they're still alive, they're still going. Again, Finbold here with another article. Rich Dad author explains why he's excited about Bitcoin in 2023. We get a lot of quotes from this guy. He's quite prominent in the crypto sphere, but he knows what he's on about. He's made some good investments. So Robert Kiyosaki, the author of personal finance book Rich Dad Poor Dad, has revealed that he's purchasing additional Bitcoins at the current market prices. He revealed in a tweet he sent on December 31st, just before the new year, that the reason he is solely bullish on Bitcoin at the moment is because he believes the Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, would crush most altcoins with its strict regulations. He goes on to say, I'm very excited about Bitcoin. Why? Because Bitcoin is classified as a commodity, much like gold and silver and oil. But most crypto tokens are classified as a security, and SEC regulations will crush most of them. I am buying more Bitcoin. And there's the quote there. And there's some more details there as well, if that one interests you. Again, do your own research, and none of this is financial advice. It's just little bits of information to help you negotiate these really rocky waters. And the more information you have, the more things you look at, the easier it is for you to make an informed choice. Okay, the next article I have here today is on Forecast, and crypto digital assets account for 69% of online investment scams in Hong Kong. I find this interesting because, if scammers are using the latest thing, the new technology, as a way to get people to part with their money, it goes to show that, it's a subject matter that people are talking about, they're interested in. So the Hong Kong police force said it has received 1,503 online investment scam complaints over the first 10 months of last year, and this is a rise of 69%, which are related to cryptocurrencies. Hong Kong lost a total of 770 million Hong Kong dollars, which is 98 million US dollars, to online scams in the first 10 months of last year, which is more than double the amount recorded over the same period in 2021, which was the previous year. Among the 1,503 online investment scams reported over the period, 1,035 were related to cryptocurrencies, which took up 69% of the total. A single victim lost as much as 15 million Hong Kong dollars in cryptocurrency scam, according to the police. And there's a few more details on that if that one interests you. But it interests me because if the scammer's using it, then as I said, we know that it's a high interest kind of technology and a high interest thing that people out there are looking into and they're very interested in getting into. So yes, keep that in mind. But also keep in mind there are a lot of scams out there as well. So make sure you buy your currency and you get your advice from all the right places. Do your research. On Bazinga here, this is an interesting one. Donald Trump NFTs plunge 80% in 2 weeks as traders reel from the New Year's shock. Donald Trump's newly issued non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, have seen a dramatic decrease in their market price, plunging 80% from their highest valuation. The Trump digital trading cards have 15,035 owners, which means it has a unique ownership rate of 33%, and a total volume of 7,872 ETH. Daily sales are down over 100% from their peak. On December 17th, sales reached an all-time high of 39 million, before crashing down to 25,000 at the time of writing. Ouch, that's a big jump. Trump NFTs have been a much discussed topic on late night television shows, including Late Night with Seth Meyers, The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel Live, and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. The collection is made up of 45,000 individual collectibles and were sold for $4.45 million within a day of launching. Originally priced at $99 a piece, individual NFTs have since fetched considerably higher prices due to the incredible demand. Great money-making scheme for Trump there. Not much else to say about that one, other than, the NFT technology is still alive and kicking. Now, on the street here, this is an interesting article about Cathie Wood. She says things are looking up after the 2022 slump. The chief executive of ARK Investment Management is enthusiastic about investing in young technology companies. After money manager Cathie Wood's exchange-traded funds plunged 60% to 80% last year from their peaks of 2021, investors are focused on the outlook for 2023. She's positively buoyant about her strategy of investing in young technology companies, and these companies are involved in the fields including gene sequencing, robotics, energy storage, blockchain technology, and artificial intelligence. She goes on to say, we are seeing a lot of deflation in the pipeline, such as falling commodity prices and discounts at retailers. She also said housing and auto prices are coming down too. And deflation should cause a boom in the disruptive innovation areas pursued by the companies in which she invests. It goes on to say here, during the market downturn of the past 2 years, ARK is concentrated on buying the stock of high conviction names. History would suggest that the concentrated strategy plays very well in subsequent rebounds, and we think this rebound will be quite powerful. Investors are so terrified by the most rapid interest rate increases ever that fear is palpable, she said, and that's the best time to average in these markets. Again, there's more information there if what she says interests you. She seems to be a leader in the field, seems to know what she's talking about, although they've had a bad year. So a bit of FTX news here. There's loads of it about there. I'm just going to pick one article because there's loads out there. It's pretty much everywhere. It's dominating the scene at the moment, but I didn't want to concentrate on it too much because it's very negative. But FTX, this is on Gadgets 360. FTX Sam Bankman-Fried pleads not guilty to fraud, and the trial is set to begin in October. FTX co-founder Sam Bankman-Fried pleaded not guilty Tuesday to US criminal fraud charges over the spectacular collapse of the crypto exchange. The 30-year-old former digital currency billionaire, who is out on bail, entered the plea in federal court in Manhattan before New York Judge Lewis Kaplan. The US has charged Bankman-Fried with conspiracy, wire fraud, money laundering, and election finance violations. Bankman-Fried pleaded not guilty to all 8 counts against him, 5 of which carry a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison each. Judge Kaplan has set a tentative date of October 2nd for the start of this trial. What this essentially means is we're going to be going through this and hearing about this as it expands and how the new revelations come out, literally for the next entire year plus, going well into 2024. So keep that in mind and bear with this. It's going to add some FUD, I would say, to what's going on there. But at the same time, a lot of revelations are coming out, and it was a complete mess. We have to be honest, it was a complete mess. Looks like we do need some kind of regulation within cryptos after all. Now we're going to move on to the video news. I think I could tell you this every week. Video, especially YouTube and especially TikTok, are fantastic resources for getting your information. So the first one we're going to have here today is CNBC News. This goes on for 8 minutes, so it's just a quick news roundup here. But it's talking about how Solana's soaring, SBF pleads not guilty, why people are using cold storage wallets, all that kind of stuff. So very interesting cross mix of information for you there. General information. So that's a good source. My next video choice here is on Jamie Tree, and this is essentially from Cathie Wood, which we talked about just now. She says, knowing is tenuous about Ethereum, Cathie Wood crypto predictions of 2023. That's an interesting one as well. That one goes on for around about 11 minutes. Have a look at that one. The next one up here, general information again, and this is from one of my favorites, Coin Bureau. Definitely subscribe to this one. Then just general crypto news, talking about Omega wallets, SOL, Sol, Doge, Valkyrie, and much more. So lots of general news there going on for around about 25 minutes, but good stuff to keep up on what's happening. Another one from Coin Bureau here. I thought I'd put this in yet because this is quite interesting development, and it's good to see what's happening here. And this goes on for 23 minutes again. Very interesting. But what talks about here is central banks are buying Bitcoin and how these are the clearest signs yet about what's going to happen in the world, what's happening with the banks. Really interesting that is. The guy really knows his stuff and does his research. And my final video here for you today is on the Altcoin Daily, and they have an expert on here, and I thought this was really interesting. And they're talking about, the great crypto reset, is it coming, and will Cardano, benefit from this and boom from this? It's an interesting conversation, interesting to be informed of this kind of stuff. So have a look at that and see what you think. Anyway, that's it for the news for this week. I want to thank you all for subscribing and seeing us through the year 2022. Hopefully 2023 is going to be a good year for us as well. It feels like there's good signature moves coming. And if you follow the track of, or the track record in history of Bitcoin, we're coming out of a bad 4 years kind of cycle. And we're coming out of a bad cycle that happens every 4 years, and it looks like we're on a development year again for cryptos and for Bitcoin. So I'm expecting some good things over the year from that. But it all depends on what's happening with the economies. It looks like a lot of them are struggling. We're talking about several of the world's global economies now moving into definite recession. And there's huge amounts of information, especially from the UK, but from other places as well, about how the banks are very seriously looking at central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, which worries me greatly because the amount of control they'll have over the information on you and me as purchasers is devastating. I think that's going to be the final nail in the coffin. But anyway, there are some good things happening out there as well, and hopefully, cryptos like Bitcoin will be able to counter that for us, especially for us people that want the freedom. Anyway, please hit that bell and subscribe. It helps us. Add comments down below. That also helps us. That's pretty much the news for this week. As I said, the links are all down below. If you've got any questions, any comments, put them there as well. Take care, and we'll see you again next week.